Hi, this is Arthur, and this is a summary and explanation of the story from all the Archon quests released in the game Genshin Impact version 5.0. The traveler says goodbye to her friends in Fontaine and leaves for Natlan. Once there, they meet Kachina. Kachina explains Natlan is about to hold the Pilgrimage of the Return of the Sacred Flame, which is an important combat tournament. The pilgrimage is divided into two phases, a team phase and an individual phase. In the team phase, each team must have an ancient name bearer as its captain. Ancient names are like titles in Natlan. Kachina has an ancient name, but no one wants to join her team because they think she's weak. Ancient name bearers have a duty to participate in the pilgrimage. If Kachina can't find teammates, she'll just go it alone. The traveler tries to join Kachina's team, but only people from Natlan can join. Kachina is impressed with the traveler's confidence and offers to show them around. Kachina takes them to her tribe, the Children of Echoes. Side note, there are 6 main tribes in Natlan. Along the way, Kachina mentions the Wayab, another godlike being in Natlan separate from the Archon. They reach her tribe and Kachina introduces Pakal, her tribe's leader. Pakal explains Natlan is a nation of heroes where stories of these heroes are passed down over time. An ancient name is like a label that symbolizes these stories. Ancient names are like heirlooms and Kachina takes out a stone. Pakal says the Wayab decides who gets an ancient name, and when one is chosen, their stories are preserved in a stone just like Kachina's. Side note, later in the game, characters actually refer to this stone as their ancient names. Later, the traveler and Kachina head to the Stadium of Sacred Flame to sign up for the pilgrimage. Along the way, the traveler touches a statue of the Seven, but nothing happens. Usually, touching the local statue of the Seven of a new nation for the first time grants the traveler elemental powers. The element of those powers generally match those of the nation's Archon. In Natlan, they are led by the Pyro Archon. Kachina explains all the Pyro Archons were just normal, mortal humans. This means everyone who's ever taken the position still grew old and needed rest. The Pyro Archon is determined through strength shown in the pilgrimage. For example, the current Pyro Archon won their pilgrimage overwhelmingly. They eventually reach the stadium and meet friends of Kachina named Kinich and Mualani. Kachina's friends explain winners of the pilgrimage will take part in the Night Warden Wars. While the pilgrimage is mostly for sport, the Night Warden Wars refer to the actual war with the Abyss. The Abyss regularly attack Natlan, and the ancient name bearers who win the pilgrimage are sent to fight them. Those sent to the Night Warden Wars are protected by the Pyro Archon's Ode of Resurrection, which can bring them back to life. As they chat, Mualani learns Kachina has no teammates and joins her team. They go sign up, and the official there explains the traveler may not join because a big part of the pilgrimage is collecting contending fire. Contending fire fuels the sacred flame, which is what enables the Ode of Resurrection. Only battles between the people of Natlan can generate contending fire, so the traveler can't join. Furthermore, only ancient name bearers can be resurrected, which is why only ancient name bearers are sent to the Night Warden Wars. There is one other condition to resurrection, which is that those who die must be victorious. Ancient name bearers are sent to the Night Warden Wars in groups. As long as the overall group is victorious in what they do, the fallen members of that group can be resurrected. Ancient name bearers who die and are not victorious stay dead, and the ancient names are no longer passed down. Kinich adds he's died and been resurrected before. Kinich says after he died, he wandered the realm of the Wayab, also known as the Night Kingdom, before being resurrected. Sometime later, everyone heads to the stadium as the pilgrimage is about to start. The Pyro Archon gives an opening speech and the battles begin. Kachina and Mualani make it through the team phase to the individual phase. They both make it through their individual battles until they're matched against each other. Kachina wins against Mualani and eventually becomes one of the winners of the pilgrimage. After the closing ceremony, Mualani invites the traveler to visit her tribe, the People of the Springs. Once there, the traveler meets Atea. Atea was a warrior who fought in the Night Warden Wars, but was injured and infected with abyssal power. Atea's injuries make it so she can't even use the local hot springs. Later, the traveler and Mualani hear rumors Atea was visiting the hot springs again. They assume Atea's recovered from her injuries and plan a surprise party to celebrate. They spend the day preparing for the party, but at night, monsters from the Abyss attack. They successfully repel the monsters, but Atea is seriously injured. The traveler recalls how she purified Dvalin's tears in the past and tries to purify Atea of abyssal power. Atea's condition improves, but the traveler can tell Atea's injuries are severe and she will not live much longer. Later, they hold the party for Atea, and Atea privately tells Mualani she knows she will die soon. Atea was using the hot springs again because she wanted to use them before she died, not because she recovered. Atea gives Mualani a talisman to give to the Pyro Archon, and they return to the party. Sometime later, they get news the winners of the pilgrimage have returned from fighting in the Night Warden Wars. Kachina died, but they were victorious, so she'll be resurrected with the rite of resurrection. Mualani then explains a bit of Natlan's history. 500 years ago, the Abyss invaded Tivat, causing substantial damage to nations like Natlan and Khanria. Though Natlan successfully repelled the Abyss, the invasion caused strangely strategic harm, proving the Abyss acted with cunning. The people of Natlan believe the Abyss invaded the Night Kingdom and can read the memories of the land. This means the Abyss seem to have an understanding of Natlan, making them formidable and difficult to eradicate. Later, they head to the stadium to witness Kachina's resurrection. The rite of resurrection is performed, but Mavuoka, the Pyro Archon, says she can't resurrect Kachina. Mavuoka suspends the pilgrimage going forward and invites Mualani, Kanich, Chaska, Iansan, and the Traveler inside the chat. Once inside, Mavuoka says the Abyss has done something to the Night Kingdom. Until these issues are resolved, the rite of resurrection will not work. In addition, no more pilgrimages mean no more contending fire, which means no more sacred flame. That's bad, because the sacred flame protects Natlan from the Abyss. As for Kachina, who's stuck in the Night Kingdom, staying there too long will erode one's self until they become one with the Sea of Souls. Mavuoka devises a plan. A group of them will go into the Night Kingdom to rescue Kachina, while Mavuoka stays and tries to keep the sacred flame burning. Mavuoka will also provide support when they enter the Night Kingdom. In order to enter the Night Kingdom, they must first retrieve the Spirit Breaker Stone from the Scions of the Canopy tribe. With the Spirit Breaker Stone, they can speak to the Wayab and find Kachina's ancient name and location in the Night Kingdom. Mualani, the Traveler, and Chaska leave to get the Spirit Breaker Stone. Before leaving, Mualani gives Atea's talisman to Mavuoka. After they leave, Mavuoka tells Kanich and Iansan the Abyss caused a shortage of pyro energy. Because of this shortage, Natlan is at a breaking point, and even the pilgrimage can't keep the sacred flame burning. They head to the sacred flame, and Mavuoka says she'll keep the flame burning with her own power. Just then, the Fatui Harbinger named the Captain arrives and tries to steal Mavuoka's Gnosis by attacking her. Mavuoka wounds the Captain, who is then saved by a cloud of smoke. Mavuoka recognizes the smoke as something from the Masters of the Nightwind tribe and believes there is a traitor. Mavuoka then adds her power to the sacred flame and becomes weaker. Back with the Traveler, they meet with Waina, the chief of the Scions of the Canopy tribe. Waina gives them the Spirit Breaker Stone. Waina then directs them to Vichama, someone capable of operating the stone. They meet with Vichama, who agrees to help if he can use the stone to find Malko, an old comrade who died in the Night Warden Wars. They make the necessary preparations and Vichama begins. Vichama finds Kachina's ancient name and hands them a stone representing her ancient name. Vichama then looks for Malko's ancient name. Unfortunately, Vichama takes too long, the Spirit Breaker Stone goes crazy, and Chaska destroys it. There's an explosion and everyone survives. Vichama is left holding a stone showing him Malko's last moments. Seeing Malko's last moments seemed to resolve some of Vichama's guilt relating to Malko's death. They head back to Waina, where Chaska's sister Quichu scolds her for going to the Night Kingdom. They bring Kachina's ancient name stone back to Mavuoka, who takes them to a room filled with mementos owned by past heroes. Atea's talisman is here. Mavuoka's preparation needs time, so she talks about the first Pyro Archon. He was a mortal man with no special power. He ascended to the divine throne and borrowed power from the heavens to establish a framework for a person to become Natlan's Archon. That framework is the pilgrimage. The pilgrimage determines who is the strongest person in Natlan. That person then ascends to the divine throne, where their inner flame is awakened and granted knowledge and memories from the sacred flame. That's why Mavuoka knows a lot of things. Later, the ceremony is ready to begin and Mavuoka summons Kachina from the Night Kingdom. An image of Kachina appears. Kachina says the Abyss is doing something to the Wayab and asks for help. They lose contact and Mavuoka directs them to an entrance to the Night Kingdom left behind from an abyssal invasion. They head over and along the way discuss how Natlan used to be home to an advanced civilization ruled by dragons. They go through the entrance and enter the Night Kingdom, where they meet Malko. Vichama's efforts to find Malko somehow reassembled pieces of him into the form standing before them. Malko guides them and they find Kachina. Kachina says there's an abyss monster chasing her and asks them to visit the Wayab. Malko explains there are 6 main totem poles in the Night Kingdom representing the Wayabs of the 6 main tribes of Natlan. There are also countless proxy totem poles. The Wayab can use these totem poles to track down souls throughout the Night Kingdom for resurrection. Unfortunately, the Abyss has contaminated many of the totem poles, blocking the Wayab's ability to find souls. They can't save all the Wayab, but decide to go help one since this one helped protect Kachina in the Night Kingdom. Malko says he'll stall the Abyss monster and stays behind. They head to the Wayab and the Abyss monster arrives. It says it killed Malko and attacks. They defeat it and suddenly the image of a person appears. The image says it is Tupac, a hero from Natlan who fought the Abyss invasion 500 years ago. Tupac says the Pyro Archon has a plan to fight the Abyss and Mualani is a part of it. Mualani then receives a bunch of Tupac's memories. Yansan strangely seems to know what's going on and says they can talk about it after they get out of the Night Kingdom. The group then somehow purifies the Wayab, who seems okay now, and they leave for the entrance. Once there, the entrance shuts before Mavuka's consciousness arrives and breaks them out. They head back to the stadium and everyone is treated for abyssal contamination, except for the Traveler, who is immune. Afterwards, they chat with Mavuka in the room with mementos, though all the mementos are missing. Mavuka says Natlan will be destroyed in less than a year. 500 years ago, the people of Natlan figured out the Night Kingdom would fall to the Abyss in about 500 years. The Night Kingdom acts as Natlan's ley lines, which seems to mean it is vital to the country. The Pyro Archon of the time came up with a plan to prevent this disaster, but it would take 500 years to complete. Mavuka reveals she is in fact the very Archon who came up with this plan 500 years ago. Unlike the other nations, the Archon of Natlan is a mortal human with a normal human's lifespan. To circumvent this, Mavuka placed her life in the Sacred Flame and died early so she could be brought back now. The plan was for Mavuka to return after 500 years to a recovered Natlan, where she'd then unite the tribes against the Abyss. In addition, each tribe would select a hero to fight alongside Mavuka. These heroes are necessary because Mavuka needs them to help re-establish connections between the Wayab and the Sacred Flame. The chosen heroes that have fully awakened are Mualani, Shilonen, Kinich, and Yansan. Side note, we haven't met Shilonen yet. That leaves 2 remaining heroes who have not fully awakened. Mavuka knows who they are, but won't tell them out of fear it would hinder their development. Mavuka says the plan cannot begin without all the chosen heroes, so all they can do now is wait. Mavuka also says the mementos are gone because she burned them and used their contending flame to rescue them in the Night Kingdom. They then head to Kachina's victory feast. At the party, Mavuka asks the Traveler to help in her plan and she agrees. Mavuka thanks her and says she'll ask Shilonen to forge her an ancient name. We move to Capitano talking to the person who saved him from Mavuka earlier with the smoke as they plan their next move. And that is the end of this quest in this video. If you like what you've seen here, please like, comment, and subscribe.